what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'm talking with Grammy-nominated musician and co-founder of the band Incubus, also founder of the biotech company Mother Science, Mike Einzinger. Let's go.
I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
Catching up is nice, but a lot of times I'll see someone out there, and then we'll talk for 30 minutes, and then we miss like good stuff.
No, we actually haven't spoken.
Yeah.
We've texted, but we haven't like actually spoken.
That's it. And we haven't actually been in the room together in, if we think about it, probably like years.
For sure.
Have we ever run into you?
I think the last time I saw you was at Hetty's house in Malibu.
Way back.
This must have been 10 years ago.
Crazy. I think we've been in a couple rooms together, but just
Since
like
then?
in passing. Yeah. I've seen you a couple places. Like, I don't know if it was like Grammys week or Oscars week or some
Something.
event. I've seen you, but it was in passing. It was
Like
like,
one of these,
hey,
like-
good to
like-
see
like-
you. But it's like a packed room and everyone's you're moving that way and I'm going this way, which is always nice, but always like hard to see people when you're in a packed room full of so much personality. And
100%.
then also like, I find those big parties, well, sometimes I enjoy it, I have to say. If on the right night, it's nice to get dressed up and go with your wife and go to, if you're with the right group of people, you can go have a fun time. But it's a very hard place to see someone that you actually really like and want to like catch up with and have a real meaningful conversation.
Absolutely.
I know we've seen each other at I forget where, but it's been a few years.
It's definitely been a while.
But I follow you on Instagram, so I feel like I'm tuned into your life
Exactly.
as much as
As
you
much
want,
as we can.
as much as you
know?
want me to be. What the things you show, and you know Nicole, you guys go way back,
Way back.
and she loves you.
Love her.
You get a real warm response whenever I bring your name up. When you started Mother Science, because I've followed, and I want to know about how you started it,
Yeah.
but when you started your would you call it like a skincare company or more of like a wellness company? Like, what would you call it?
A biotech company.
Biotech.
Yeah, we were not planning on. We had no plans to start a skincare company. We weren't even planning to start anything that had to do with like, a consumer company. We were trying to answer a scientific question,
Right.
and then once we, got to a certain point with that, then we had to make a decision about what we were going to do with the technology that we developed. And commercializing it was sort of a different endeavor than investigating a scientific hypothesis.
Right.
And they're wildly different things,
Okay, so I want to know about that, and I have a million questions. So, but before I go there, when you started talking about it, I said to Nicole, "Oh, Mikey started a skincare." In my mind, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, a skincare product."
Well, by the time you found out about it, that's what it was.
And then I dug into it, and the information you give when you look into the product is super science focused. So it makes sense that you're saying it's a biotech company. Now, this is one of the products that the technology that applies, right?
Yeah, we wanted the best and highest use of the technology, and also to get the technology into the commercial world
Right.
in the most expedient way possible.
And an accessible way that people could experience one aspect of the technology, right?
That's right.
So when I told Nicole, "Oh, Mikey started a skincare," so very base level.
She was probably
that
like, "Huh?"
No, she was like, "I totally see that," because I said there's an aspect of there's a proprietary quality or characteristic of the product. I was starting to break it down for her because I get super interested in innovation.
Yeah.
And when I see someone, and so we have a ton of stuff to talk about because I think artists are some of the most innovative people because we come from a different angle and we have a creative kind of approach to things, and we don't live inside boxes. So anything's possible in our mind, right?
Absolutely.
So when I told her, yeah, Mike started a skincare thing, and I bought some and it's amazing. She was like very excited because she loves you.
That makes me happy too. I just, it's like I haven't seen Nicole in a long time either. Probably saw her the last time I saw you.
Yeah.
And, but we go way back.
Yeah.
By the way,
you.
I was just talking to Catherine Power right before I got
Love
here.
Catherine.
And Catherine says hi. And she was like, tell Joel I say what's up.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's like, I told her that you were using Mother Science. And she was like, that's so awesome. She was so happy about it.
Yeah. I swear by it now. So before we talk about Incubus, because I want to talk about Incubus, I want to talk about where you started and where you're at. But Mother Science, here we are. So we're already talking about it. And because I use it, I'm a big fan.
Well, that makes me super happy too. So,
well, I see, honestly, so I'm a big, I wouldn't say I'm like a skincare junkie because I'm not, but I just like to get something that works
absolutely
and use it every day.
Yep.
And this is, since I started using this, I swear people, Nicole and my, people, my friends, whatever, ask about my skin some days, right?
And you're like, what?
On a good day when I've got enough sleep and I've drank enough water, but I can see a difference and not only can I see a difference when I use it, but for me, it's how it feels. So I've tried everything. I don't like a greasy face feeling. I need something that goes on after the shower and I feel good.
Yep.
Right. And I feel like, because after I get out of the shower, I just feel dry.
Yep.
And so I need like a serum of some kind. And I've been trying expensive stuff. I tried Kiehl's. I tried this. The whole spectrum of everything you could try. And I always think like, oh, I kind of found it. It's good enough. And then when I tried Mother Science, done. I ordered like 8 bottles because I don't want to run out.
Well, you just got 4 more.
And I got 4 more. I swear by it. And I tell all my friends, I'm like, yo, try that. You'll never use anything else.
Well, it's funny.
And it lasts. The bottle, you get 1 squirt.
Yeah.
It goes on. A whole bottle. It feels like it's a really great product.
It's very simple, and it does something really good for your skin, which is, which was obviously like our hope was that it would, have that kind of impact. So I'm super happy to hear you say all that. And what I was going to say is, I was really surprised. I'd never posted anything on my social media about really any product, specifically not a skincare product.
Yeah.
So when it came time, like, we'd been developing the technology behind Mother Science for 6 years before.
And what is the tech?
So it's a molecule called malisasin
Okay.
that is naturally produced in the microbiome of your skin.
Okay.
It's produced in small amounts, but it does really good things for your skin. And there are a lot of compounds that are naturally produced in the skin. Compounds like, and when I say compound, I mean molecule.
Yeah.
Hyaluronic acid is naturally produced in the skin.
Okay.
Azelaic acid is produced in the skin. Lots of different vitamins are produced in the skin naturally. And, over the years, over the decades, people have figured out if you give more of some of these things to your skin, it really likes it. It's really good. It's not that way with all things, but, your skin likes hyaluronic acid to a degree. And basically, malisasin is something that is produced naturally in the skin microbiome that we sort of came upon. And we weren't the ones who discovered its existence, but we were the first to basically use it for some purpose. We wanted to understand what was causing this sort of lightening effect that happens in a very harmless skin condition called tinea versicolor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
No.
it's a skin condition that happens on most people at some point in their lives. It's one of the most common skin conditions on earth where you just get these lightened areas. And my wife, Anne Marie, she was in India at the time this happened. She just noticed that she had these like lightened areas of skin on her. It was kind of on her back. And we wanted to understand, like, she kind of just had this realization like, wow, I have this like totally, it's harmless. It's just sort of a change in appearance.
Right.
And my wife was
Is it with age or is it?
No, it happens to actually mostly to young people.
Okay.
It can happen to anybody, but most commonly it affects people age 15 through 25.
Okay.
So kind of is more prominent on the skin of young people.
Okay.
But in response to this sort of thing that happens to your skin, your microbiome produces more of this substance called malisasin. And we just sort of had this hypothesis that it could be sort of having this, brightening effect on the skin. And Anne-Marie just said, well, what if you could use this compound for a benefit, formulate it into a skincare product and, potentially, improve like dark spots on people.
Yeah.
That was sort of the ethos behind it. But then we learned a lot more about it. It's a very potent antioxidant, and it has a very profound calming effect on the skin. And that's how it impacts texture, lines and wrinkles and things like that, which is all super fascinating. We dug into this scientifically. We surrounded ourselves with, lifelong pharmacologists, dermatologists, a dermatologist named Dr. Pearl Grimes, who's spent her entire career researching pigmentation. And
Pearl Grimes?
Yeah, Dr. Pearl Grimes.
Grimy.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's here in LA. And we have a team of people that have spent their lives studying skin physiology, like cellular signaling in the skin and how these systems talk to each other and work with each other. And for me, I just got obsessed with it from a scientific perspective. I wasn't like a skincare, fanatic in any way, shape, or form. This was sort of like a Rubik's Cube I wanted to solve. And it's like any other thing, like you were saying, creativity and innovation. For me, whether it's musical or otherwise, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. It all scratches the same itch for me. So once I get obsessed with something like that, like I kind of can't put it down.
Yeah, you're kind of like you're a gamer.
Yeah.
You see a problem, a Rubik's Cube of some sort, and you want to solve it. A lot of the guys and people over history that are the great kind of like inventors, innovators, Imagineers, not necessarily well-learned students. So imagination does come into
100%.
Creative comes in.
Absolutely.
What I always say to when I talk to, most of the time I spend these days in my work life is building companies and executing ideas that we think would work for more people, whether it's the music company or the media company or the tech company. Most of it is how do we have a creative approach in an organization that can build things at scale? So we need all the different kinds of people in the organization. We need people that are more organized and administrative, but we need creativity because creativity always kind of, you think outside the box and you come up with ideas and you're naive enough to believe you could come up with a new way.
Well, that's one of the most powerful things is that in certain cases, that naive mindset can be very, very valuable. Like you sometimes like, the dumb question that like a 5-year-old would ask is really like the one that no one's asking, but needs to be asked.
If it were simple, how would we do it? You need one side of the conversation to be grounded in information, and one side of the conversation has to be head in the clouds, creative. When you find a good match, really it's powerful. And some people can do both. Some people have the brain, both sides of the brain are working. I think it's possible for everyone to develop their brain to work on both sides. But I think part of your success is you kind of do have a little bit of both. You're a creative guy, but it feels like were you a good student?
I was a horrible student when I was young.
Okay, but were you always interested in like science? And
I was, but I had sort of I would call an adversarial relationship with academics as a young
questioned
person.
Everything.
I was just, I just didn't like being told what to do, I guess. And I had a lot of energy and my mind was just sort of all over the place. But then I went to college as an adult and that was a totally different experience for me.
Did you do well?
Yeah, I did really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was it was actually a very rewarding experience for me because I felt in many ways.
Didn't you go to Harvard?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to say I felt defeated by academics as a kid because it was like I just never felt good about it, and it wasn't because I didn't think I could do it. I was like, put in gifted education as a young kid. Actually, that's where I met Brandon. We were in 6th grade and we were in the gifted program together.
Oh, wow.
But I kind of hated that because we were expected to do more, and I didn't react well to that.